Good day and good afternoon, dudes and dudettes of the stratosphere. Well, it's review time. Last night I went to go see the new Scream. It's not really a sequel, but it is a franchise movie. It's basically a requel. Basically, it's a it's a start over. Uh, so I'm gonna break it down. I'm not giving anything away. Tyler and Matt, the directors of the movie, to me did a brilliant job. I mean, they paid homage to Wes. They basically took it back to the original, where it was scary. There was some fun, there was some humor in it. There was some jump scares in it. And there was some kills. I mean, some brutal kills in this one. It was more gut wrench kills. Um, the OGs are back. Sydney, Gail, and Dewey. I mean, you can't have a Scream without them in it. Granted, they are not the main. They are the main characters, but they're not really the main characters of the movie. It's the new cast. Um, I will say this: it is basically a full circle. You know, uh, the last act of the movie is basically the last act in the original Scream, as far as place, not really the people, but where the last act takes place at. And there are some cameos in the movie from other Screams. I would say Randy's sister's in this one. Uh, Judy, I think that was her name. Deputy Duty, what from the last Scream, 2011. She's in this one, you know. Uh, but basically, the new cast comes in, and there's a backstory with the cast. There is really basis. It's good, you know. Uh, without giving anything away, there is a scene in the movie, part in the movie that I cried. If you are a true fan of Scream, you will feel some certain way when you see this scene, because it literally, I cried because, yeah. Uh, and I will say this: you you may think you know who the killer or killers are in this one. If you guess right off the bat, good for you. But if you don't, and you say, "Oh, this one's the killer," "Oh, that one's the killer," they may die. But I was kind of really surprisingly shocked about one of the killers. You know, really. And the other one I was questionable about. But still, um, do Gail, Sydney, and Dewey die? I can't give that away. You have to watch. Um, as far as the new cast, you know, they did a good job. You know, it this Scream lives up to the franchise. And for me, if it's not as good as the original, it may be better than the original. Uh, like I said, Tyler and Matt, the directors, they wrote the script, directed it, you know, and you know, I remember watching the first Scream. I mean, it didn't really scare me, but you know, it was good. Then the second one came out, it was good. The third one was kind of The fourth one that came out 10 years ago, that one was pretty good. But this one right here, I think tops them all. And I will say this: there's a character in the movie named Wes, so I think they did that. I think Matt and Tyler did that for a reason to pay homage to Wes Craven. You know, who started this franchise. Wes and Kevin Williams, started this franchise, and Wes is no longer here with us, and for them to do that is amazing. And this film, Halloween got revamped up over the past couple of years now. Scream is revamped up. So by Halloween and Scream now, I think slasher horror movies is about to resurface and get a new look at life, a new recharge, and I'm gonna give this movie a 9 out of 10. 9 out of 10. I mean, don't get me wrong, the kills were good, but there was a storyline, there was a backstory, there was closure, there was people in the movie that, wow, and there was a special cameo from a past cast member in this movie. I don't know if it was really this person in real life, or they digitally put this person in the movie. So, but I want people to go and watch this movie because it's good. It's a good scare for the beginning of the year. And, and guess what? At the end of the year, we're about to get another scare with the new Halloween movie coming out. So, there you go. So, but Scream, it lived up to the hype because it came out Thursday. It already made $3.5 million Thursday. As of today, it has made, I want to say, over 20 or over $30 million just as of today, and we still got Sunday to go. So that should right there tell you that people love this movie. I mean, the critics loved it. It was like 83 on Rotten Tomatoes, so that's very good. Sydney being Sydney, Gail, how Gail is, and Dewey is just, you can't help but to love Dewey. And as far as the newer cast members, some of them were like Randy-esque, some were like Sydney-esque, some were like just in between. But, it's a horror movie, man. But I will say that Scream, good job. Matt, Tyler, Nev, Courtney, David, and the rest of the cast. What a good job y'all did for not only the franchise, but for Wes to leave his legacy for Scream. Because there was a lot of people that was kind of iffy about it, Wes is no longer here, so why remake a Scream? That's just like Halloween. John Carpenter's not here no more, so why remake a Halloween movie, And Matt and Tyler literally said if it wasn't for Wes, they wouldn't. Wes is the reason why they became directors. Wes is the reason why they directed their first movie, Ready or Go. I think that's what the name of it is. I don't know. But I think it was at the right time, at the right moment, with the right cast, and with Nev, David, and Courtney, the right script. So, will there be another Scream? That's up in the air. But right now, I think The door is shut, but I don't think it's locked. There could be another screen, but I think the door is shut on the screen because it was just, I can't put it in words, you know. It was a good movie, good for a slasher movie, good. And so, yeah, go watch Scream, please. It would, yeah. I give it 9 out of 10. Uh, you know, you will jump, you will laugh, you might cry. Believe it or not, you can't cry in horror movies. So I urge people to go watch this movie. You'll have a good time. Oh, and got one more thing to say. What's your favorite scary movie?